Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a minute since I've done a video. Whew. It's been crazy, been getting life back together, doing some crazy things, changing industries again, blah, 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 blah. But one of the things I was always known for was keeping it savage. And I was known for going after the Dodge brand when they would make some weird mistakes. And while I would absolutely love to talk about Dodge right now and their last editions, which it's a graphics package, who gives a damn? We gotta go after Mercedes today and their new C63. I just watched Carwow's video, which outlines all of the specs. To say unimpressed and damn is an understatement. Y'all trying to get that Dodge weight without them Dodge numbers, but let's get into it. It's been a hot minute since y'all seen old girl. Looking good, got her tuned up. She's quick. We'll leave it at that. The difference between this and Mopars, I can take a turn now and this baby is glued to the road. However, we're gonna be changing out the wheels finally. Wheels have always been a little gaudy since I purchased it. We're gonna be going HRE FF10s, probably waiting until like Black Friday. Oh no, they're not really expensive wheels. What are you doing? I'm waiting for a deal because money conscious killer. Thanks to that dickhead. Anyway, we're gonna take her out, but one of the main features of the new C63 is it's a 4-cylinder twin-turbo hybrid. So I feel like it's only right that we start this video out with a proper cold start, because damn. Yeah, she ain't exactly quiet, but I love it. My neighbors hate it. These neighbors don't pay my damn mortgage, you know what I'm saying? So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go for a little drive. And we're gonna talk about this C63S that everybody's so ecstatic about, except people who actually care about cars. Carwow put up a video, go watch that, great video, very intuitive. He kind of sticks it to the AMG representative that was there. Watching that guy fumble over his words, amazing. And then Shmee put out a video. Shmee obviously is a car guy. He still didn't seem highly impressed with it. So, go check out those videos for the specs. But my biggest things, right off the bat, they gave it more aggressive styling. So one of the biggest things with the W205 C63S that my Brabus is based off of is this 4-liter twin-turbo V8 puts off an immense amount of heat. And there's not a lot of aftermarket options as far as hoods and venting in order to diffuse a lot of that heat. Now, the cooling system on here is very good. But with the Challengers, you guys have the Hellcat hoods, the Demon hoods, things like that, meant to increase aerodynamics to cool off the engine. That Hemi is gigantic, 16 spark plugs, no thank you. While I miss my 1320, I don't miss that. But there are no aftermarket options like that for the C63. Not the W205 anyway. The ones that there are, they're little tiny vents that aren't gonna do anything, or it's a plexiglass window, which I'm not gonna BS. When I first got into this, that was probably the hood I was going to get, but decided against it after seeing one in person at my boy's shop, Modern Mercedes Repair and Farmers Branch down in Dallas. It's heavier, doesn't do anything, and eventually that plexiglass or acrylic or whatever the hell the window is, it's going to change colors. Neither here nor there. On the new C63S, they give it a vented hood over a turbo 4-cylinder. We needed that in the W205 world. The reason why they're dressing it, they also give it like these fender vents, which I don't know if they actually do anything, but we actually, in the W205 world, needed that to cool off the engine, because this thing, when I tell you this thing puts off an immense amount of heat, it's one of those that, like, when you park the car and get out and you put your foot down, if you're wearing flip-flops, you ain't keeping your foot there long. It's gonna be warm. I'm also running Rentec 200 cell catted downpipes, which I'm sure has a little bit to do with it, and I'm tuned, blah, 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 but it's hot. It puts off a crazy amount of heat. And they decided to give the vented hood and the vented fenders to a 4-cylinder. What are you doing? Now keep in mind, I don't know if this is gonna pick up the sound, but part of what I love about this car is the sounds. So like, here. A little more turbo. Love that. Who can't enjoy that? Listen, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to lower their carbon emission footprint. I get it, everybody's worried about global warming, but we also got to face the facts here, people. You're getting the same output out of a 4-cylinder twin turbo. The only way that you do that is by increasing the amount of fuel that it takes, because it is a lower cubic inch engine. The displacement is different. The only way to get more horsepower, the only way you do that is by increasing more fuel. I'm just saying, use your brains. And then to be lowering your carbon emission footprint, and yet you're, sorry, I'm trying to get this thing back in regular drive. And yet you're boasting about putting a 6 kilowatt hour battery in the back for hybrid technology. Dude, it's still lithium. And for those of you who don't know how Google works, do me a favor and Google the lithium mining process. Understand how dangerous lithium actually is to humans. Understand that if a fire starts, water don't put it out, killer. But I digress. That's a video for another time. I'm not trying to get into politics. But what I'm getting at, what I'm about to say, is the fact that going to a 4-cylinder, you're losing the soul of AMG. This thing is known to be a sledgehammer. And, I mean, they've already been diluting the brand for years. You got the C43 and AMG this. It's not the same as it was. If it's not a 63, I probably don't take it seriously. Hate to be that guy. That's going to piss off a couple of people. That's fine. Be mad. But you have a 4-cylinder twin turbo that you think is saving the environment. It's probably hurting it more. Now you got lithium in a car. And then we got to talk about the elephant in the room. The weight. Okay, so my car is 3703. Okay? Now, once you put my big fat ass in it, it ain't that. It's a little bit higher. However, the new one is 2,111 kilos, or 6,653 pounds. It's almost 1,000 pounds heavier. Now, I know a lot of you think that I left Mopar and forgot what a power to weight ratio is. I have not. And when you account for that, the power to weight ratio ain't any better than stock. It's not. And the stock W205 was sitting at, I believe, 510 horsepower. Mine is not that. And not much higher torque than that. Now I'm over 700 foot-pounds of torque, but I'm rear-wheel drive. So there comes the next thing. Here's a pro of the new C. It is all-wheel drive. But at the same time, you got to be all-wheel drive when you're trying to move the damn Titanic. Here's a little straight line baby hit. Here. Yeah. She ain't slow, people. Now, one of the absolute biggest battles all AMG owners have, especially rear-wheel drive model AMGs, C63s, S's, the whole 9 yards, is traction. Especially a rear wheel, because with the turbos, these things are torque monsters. Like I said, I'm a little over 700 foot-pounds of torque, which is retarded. I have to roll in, otherwise I just spin through third gear. However, how did the new C63 with its all-wheel drive? Wow! All-wheel drive technology, how did it come back and fix everything? The guy in the car ride video bragged. He bragged about adding 3 centimeters of rubber. 3 centimeters. Now, I know to some of you who think you're impressive to the ladies, 3 centimeters, you're like, wow, it's nothing. 0. It ain't going to help with traction at all. Now, the all-wheel drive and the fact that you weigh a planet, that's going to help. However, they're coming in right now saying, and they're basing this off of stock numbers, that the new C63 0 to 60 is 3.4 seconds, while the old W205 at the highest output was 510 horsepower at 3703 was 4 seconds, okay? I am well below that. So the new C63 isn't going to walk me, but the one thing that it's not going to do either is walk the W205 past 60. Now, if you do a roll race, it's over. You're going to get handled just based off the power to weight ratio, but I digress. Now, the pricing hasn't been officially released. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. The best that I've seen so far, though, is CarBuzz is reporting that the new C63S 2-liter 4-cylinder twin turbo hybrid will start at $106,000. Do you have any idea how many other cars you can buy at that price range? We're going to cut the video there, and I'm just going to leave it at this. Mercedes, you need to listen to your enthusiast. I understand that you want to keep up with the times and this, that, and the other, but watch the entire planet right now. We do not have the infrastructure to be able to 100% switch to hybrid or electric technology. Not yet. Once these hybrid pieces in the back of your car go bad, how much is it going to cost? I know what regular maintenance on this thing is. I know how much a B1 service, a transmission service, all that was. It was over almost $4,000 just for that. I just did brake pads. They were $1,100. What's it going to be to have to replace one of those motors? So, I mean, it is what it is. The styling's different. The numbers are crazy. The weight is outrageous. So tell me in the comments below, everybody, if you were headed toward an AMG, would you buy the new C63S or would you buy the one that actually still has a soul? Hey, if you watched the video, I appreciate all y'all. I don't think this one's going to get a huge hit. I've been out of the game for way too long. Going to get back into it, though, slowly but surely. I appreciate all y'all. Stay savage.